Hey everybody, this is Johnny Vaz there from Leonard Skinner. You're watching Directions of the Heart with Mike Aloia and Pete DeLorenzo. On American Hearts Radio.
When the lights come down and I leave the stage, it's you that makes it all worthwhile. When the lights come down and I leave the stage, it's you that makes it all worthwhile.
Welcome to Direction of the Heart discussion series. I'm your host, Mike Aloia, CEO of American Hearts Radio Entertainment Network. I've got my partner and brother in Christ, Mr. Pete DeLorenzo out of New Jersey. What's up, Pete? How you doing?
Right, my brother. All right, great.
Oh, we've got Leonardo Sanderson. You're also in New Jersey, correct?
Actually, I'm based in New York. How's it going today?
Oh, man, it's great. Glad to see you, man. I know we had little technical difficulties getting you on, but I'm glad you're there, man. And, you know, I've heard a lot of great things about you. Your buddy Jose Maisonette, it's in your film called Sons of God. We had him on our show, and I know you and Pete had met and had a real great meeting.
Amazing.
And I tell you, Leonardo, I really commend you, man, for what you're doing. I know you're an independent film producer, director. You also are a screenplay writer, and you do it all, right, basically?
And act, yes.
And he's a fine human being. You know, actually, as you said, Mike, Jose is a longtime colleague of mine and friend and great, actor. And he's on my film. I cast him on my film, The Mentor, so many times when we talk. And all this while that Jose and I know each other, we had never yet physically met. And he had been wanting to get to my office. So then when he mentioned about Leo and the Sons of God, and we had him on as a guest, I said, well, I'd love to meet Leo. And then Leo and I, right, we talked with Jose and three-way several times on the phone, and they finally got their butts here into my office, and it was a great meeting. He got me into a little hot water with my lady. He went and posted that I signed with him, and she's like, oh, what's this? Where? You signed with him? I'm like, oh, honey, I didn't sign anything yet. But, I mean, and she didn't really understand anything about, the series yet, and rightly so. I mean, you can't go from a poster or a picture, and there was something else in it, right? While you were here, she must have went to Sons of God, the website, and saw this poster of some woman in a brassiere and all that. She go, oh, what are you getting involved in? Like, honey, they want me to play an angel.
Look, I hear somebody say something about making a movie. Hi, I'm Batman of that.
Yeah, man, we got somebody who wants to be in one of your next films, brother.
Talk about
Here to deliver the
good and
message.
evil.
I don't know if I can say this without getting in trouble or not, but I think Batman would get his ass kicked.
About
Here at American Hearts Radio, we bring hearts together, right?
Well, we're talking about something here that Leo created about
together, and you gentlemen, you obviously need my help.
It's ironic that you pop because we're
You're
talking
welcome.
about.
And anytime that I can help you, Mike.
We're talking about a creation that Leo. Talking about a creation that Leo put together, which is basically, well, Leo, you'll tell them better than I, but it's an updated kind of sci-fi, and it has to do with the forces of good and evil battling each other. And so, and Pop Batman.
That's all you need,
Right?
What can I tell you?
Didn't see that one coming, huh, Leo?
You just never know what the wind's going to blow in, right?
Actually, I think this is a little different from anything that we've ever seen before, because I bring the gods of different cultures from across the world together. In fact, in the first season, the gods of Olympus and the gods of Asgard actually come together. And there's a kind of like a history between them, a conflict, but yet they have to work together. And so it's kind of, interesting. Could you imagine like Thor versus Zeus? That type of a compatible situation, and all topped off with angels from I wanted to say this correctly. Christians don't like it when it's called mythology, from what I understand. But Christian angels and demons become involved as well.
Yeah, mythology is created by man, but I know where you're going.
I was just joking.
No, I know where you're going, and the beautiful part, what
I
I
got
like,
angels all around me, brother.
and
Amen to that.
I've always said there's all genres of films and TV shows, and there are a dime a dozen. Hollywood is really going wild with all the superhero and sci-fis, and who didn't watch Star Wars and things like that, and great kind of sci-fis. But what I like what you're doing from when we had the meeting. I mean, I came in cold knowing a little bit about it, and from Jose, and then learning more that this is a great vehicle. Once people get to understand what you're doing with this, is it showing that, and Mike, you and I talked about this on prior segments before we had Jose and Leo, is that, and when we had Jose on, we talked about it, and now that we've got the man, the director, who put this together, and it's an honor to have you, Leo, that, when we walk out our door, every day in life, we face temptations. There is the good, there is the evil. And I use this as a metaphor, Leo, right? When we had the meeting and you were here in my office, that, we could be driving down the road and start and say in our head, and Jesus said, if you think evil, then you wind up doing it within your heart. If you lust upon a woman, if you think so, we could think evil things. We could, it's in us all to go out there. We could do good, or we could do evil. We could be productive, or we could be counterproductive. What I like what you're doing with this show is, it's modernized and it's like a sci-fi, but yet it is driving home a very profound message of that when we walk out that door, you can wind up being faced with any forces of temptations and evil. So are we going to be succumb to that? And you're showing the battle of the good fighting the bad.
Yes, it's actually a metaphysical representation in film shown in a physical way. You hit the nail right on the head with that.
Like I said, you could put it better, and that's what I like about it. See, because I'm always very, very cautious and choosy about, not choosy like some people with egos, like, oh, well, I want a bigger role. No, not that. But I'm choosy about what roles I take because it's your name you're attaching to something. And what I like about this, what I see so far, is that like I said, you wanted me to play a bad guy, I could easily do that. But to portray a good angel is, I believe in God and I believe in His Word, and that would be, when Mike, I mentioned to you, look at shows like Highway to Heaven, all right, and Touched by an Angel, all right, and there were great shows like that. Michael, the movie Michael with John Travolta was a great movie. When you're showing good facing the evil, there's a message there, and I love messages.
Good and evil has been in battle since the beginning of time.
Absolutely, since
it's the oldest story in history. Now, what you've done is you've taken the urban legends with the werewolves, the vampires, and you brought all that together as well with the gods of mythology and with the angelic realm, and you kind of mixed that all together for a common good.
Yeah, and see, that's a good point.
Am I correct about this, Leo?
Yeah, Leo, what I like is that unlike,
hold on, Pete, wait. Am I right about this?
You certainly are. In modern day conspiracy theory, it shows where everything ties in. I mean, you have your vampires, you have your werewolves, your demons. They're all known as minions of Lucifer. You have your gods from different cultures. It's coming the way they're being told now. They're actually aliens from different planets. And when it said that Jesus ascended into the heavens didn't literally mean an ethereal plane. It meant he ascended. Ascending means to rise. He went into the heavens, which in the time that the Bible was written meant the sky. He went to the sky. So the heavens are the skies. Mm-hmm. And so even though it's multi-layered, the ethereal plane exists. But it's also, there's an outer space where there's other creatures, and that's where the vampires and werewolves come from. And then where it becomes more complex when you start mixing in the other planes where you have hell and actual heaven. Because it's actually, yes, I mixed it in.
And Leo, when you hear my office discuss too, I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't mean, we discussed about how, certain people have different beliefs, certain people, whether it's mythology, whether it's a form of organized religion, whatever faith they subscribe to. But, what we're dealing with, from what I see and what you're created, is the overall that, and like I said, there's all genres. But something like this, I like because it carries a message along the lines of, you get so many fictitious movies about aliens and about werewolves and about vampires and a lot of garbage. But this, what you're doing, has a message it's carrying about the forces of evil against the forces of good. And that's something that I would, be a part of in a way. You see, I wouldn't come on board on something that's going to perpetuate evil and violence.
I don't touch God. God is bigger than anything that I can try and put on paper. I don't touch him.
There you go.
I go with the people he sent to do good and the battles, but God is bigger than what you can imagine. So I put it on paper.
Hold on a second, guys. Now I'm trying to wrap my head around this whole concept.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm thinking here is basically, in a nutshell, is all of these elements are coming together for the purpose of, is this end of days? Is this where it all comes together, and this is the final conflict between,
like a modern day apocalypse,
or the awakening, and everybody's looking around like, wow, all this stuff's for real.
It's
all
the beginning of the end. Yes.
The demons, the vampires. Oh my gosh, it's all real.
Yeah, very well put, Mike, because even though Leo's doing this in a sci-fi kind of fashion, it is prevalent, and it is the last days we're living in, and the things and the conditions of the world. So what better timing for something like this to come out when you got Walking Dead and you got shows like that and others that, and the vampires and the werewolves, and Hollywood is like beating the hell out of it all. But he's putting out something that, maybe it's sci-fi and maybe it's, modern day kind of.
Well, it's a great
but it's got a profound message.
Action and fantasy people love.
People always
good and evil, the battle, the fights, all that. Now, Leo, how long have you been involved with this whole script from beginning to starting filming, and how long has this taken you to bring Sons of God together?
Honestly, I started writing it in 2002. I started researching it. I didn't actually put a pen to paper for about 5 years. I spent about 5 years researching the different mythologies, Christianity, the other religions, and the modern day conspiracy theories. And then I started writing. And about 2007, I put together a mini show called Trident. I put the pilot in. I was actually the first black man to win the largest action film festival in the world, the Astana Action Film Festival in 2012.
Nice.
And then this is actually a prequel to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been going on for over a decade.
Well, even like I said earlier, Mike, we were talking about whether my film, your project, any project, it happens in God's timing, and I honestly think better timing for something like this, because anybody knows I'm not a hypocrite, and I don't advocate. There's so many bang bang shoot 'em up movies and this and that and the violence, but what I'm getting at is something that is going to show the reality of, there's evil out there, and there's good. And if you're going to put
there's heroes,
I like making something that carries a message, and this does carry a message.
And Jose,
people get the wrong idea about it. You know what I mean? They see, this, that, the other, violence, sci-fi, and they could get the wrong concept of what he's doing. But
now,
the fact that you want me as an angel,
well, he wants you as an angel with a pair of nunchucks.
I believe a phrase from one of my favorite movies was the Ethereum planes were chaotic with battle. The angels kick ass.
My angels don't.
2000. Got a quote of my favorite director.
Am I right, Leo? Angels don't need nunchucks.
Hey? Man, swords, shields.
We talked about this, right? Leo, in the meeting again when we met. I quoted that when Jesus was arrested in the garden. And he prayed like sweating beads, and he said to his disciples, "In my moment of need, do not stay awake with me, but one hour. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." So right there, it shows mankind that are, how many of them fled, how many of them, and Peter denied him, and Judas betrayed him, and I'm already saying, but you look at the overall. He turned when Peter sliced off the ear of one of the soldiers upon his arrest. He said, "Know you not that I could call 20,000 of legions of angels to my side right now? Put away the sword. Those that live by the sword die by the sword." So you see, but what you're doing here is you're showing, in maybe a sci-fi fashion, but the forces of good will always. What I see here, all said and done, is the forces of good will always prevail over
Well,
the.
Pete, check this out. I don't think it's so much sci-fi because the man just said that he did a lot of research on
Right.
Christianity,
I'm just labeling it
theology,
strictly. Exactly.
and I mean this is all documented
He
parts
did
of
his
our
homework.
history
Yeah, no, he did his homework.
that Leo has, and it almost seems to me, Leo, like you've got a calling, like you've had this vision that you can't shake, and it's almost God's calling you to bring all these elements together in a film that'll be entertaining for all generations and generations to come. And I love that idea. I don't think Hollywood has ever done anything quite like that.
Well, Hollywood just perpetuates the sex, bang, bang, shoot 'em up, and violence, and they think
Basically.
See,
I'm
Leo's
trying to be
doing is-
innovative.
Yeah, but Leo, what you're doing is it's got a message in there, you know.
And give us the message of the film, the basic message and premise.
God is going to have his way no matter what at the end of the day. All of the fighting is basically it's all, the ending is all foretold. I mean, we're gonna have to live through it. We're gonna have to, and it's not gonna be fun. When Jesus comes back in Revelations, he comes back with a sword protruding from his mouth to go to war.
Comes back as a lion, not as a lamb. Exactly.
So I mean, these things are going to come to pass. It's going to be hell on earth for a little while. Even Lucifer gets dominion over the earth for 1,000 years before Jesus comes and puts him away for good.
Well, I always say when Jesus comes back, there's going to be a new sheriff in town.
Man, when Jesus come back, it's going to be something else.
I'd like to get on a.
He's the one riding in on a white hat and on the white horse.
You know something?
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm not. I grew up Catholic religion. I'm not a religious person, but I understand a lot of Christianity. There's things that I don't really agree upon, but I've had my own spiritual beliefs on doing what's right and being a good person and loving each other. And, our whole show is based upon a message of global peace.
Absolutely.
Now, your film actually reflects upon the chaos that's happening and the fight between good and evil, which is happening right now within our.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
And we are looking at now this troubled and turmoil and war-torn nations like Syria, which all these refugees are pouring into these other countries, are being blocked by countries to get into Germany. And, there's so much chaos. There's beheadings. We have ISIS. We've got these terrorist nations that are trying to destroy us. They're killing and burning churches. Well, Christianity is being attacked.
Good point you just made, Mike, is that, if you go back to the Old Testament, it's prophetic and it ties into the New Testament because Jesus and the disciples, which became apostles, quoted the Old Testament. And in the book of Daniel and Ezekiel, it speaks of Gog and Magog, and which was known as Media Prussia, which is Russia today. And when it talks about coming down on the spoil of Israel, what's the spoil? It's a desert there, but the spoil is the gold and the oil. And that's what they're all after, because oil is power, you see. And bottom line, Jesus is going to enter before all this chaos that we're seeing in the world now is prophetic. And we are living in the last days of the signs that
Do you believe that, Leo, that we are living in Revelations?
Yeah, he's portraying it.
If you can't look at Revelations as a literal book, but if you read most Bibles will have something in the middle, you'll have something on the left and something on the right of each page, and then it'll have something in the middle that explains where to go. It's called the concourse.
The concordance.
Concord. Thank you. Yes, where you can and if you really break it down, it'll teach you where to go in the Bible to understand what each piece of that prophetic vision meant. And if you follow the concord, eventually what you'll find is a description of what you look outside your window and see, or turn on the news and see. So it's not whether a matter or not if I believe it or not. But the things that were said they said that a third of the world will be destroyed by a star called wormwood, and it would destroy, and nothing will be able to live there for 1,000 years. It would destroy a third of the land, a third of the seas, and a third of the air, and nothing will be able to live there for 1,000 years. That sounds like, I don't know, radiation. This is something that they prophesized before modern technology, which means that people saw what was going to happen.
Because what comes to my mind was Nostradamus, who was a prophet, and maybe not so. I don't believe it, but the prophetic things that he wrote, have come true in history and things like that. But what I'm getting at is if we go, and you mentioned the concordance, which will lead you to cross references and references. The book of Revelation was written by John as he was exiled, and it is all symbolic of what he received in a vision of what is to come. But there's symbols like the four horsemen, like many things, see, symbolic of what is going to come. And, you know, basically, I feel from what I see in your project is that you are taking and portraying that modern, apocalypse, if you will. Because when we walk out that door, like Mike brought out, we are dealing with the Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, ISIS. We are dealing with right within our own country things like the bullying, the violence, these senseless shootings, these senseless killings, all of it. My God, it's off the hook. It's like a fire that can't be contained. So these are things that are in the world. And you know, like when I was here in the office and we were talking, you and I said, you know, 9/11 was just one thing that, you know, Jesus said, when you see things, wars and rumors of wars and famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, know that this is the beginning of what you shall see, as such as not been since the beginning of time.
Right.
So we never thought we'd see anything as horrible as 9/11, where, I mean, Pearl Harbor, yeah, they bombed us. It was wartime, and Germany in wartime. But, you know, this was our own soil during peacetime, hijacked commercial planes, and look what they did. I mean, that's barbaric.
Well,
And all of these things happening, like these typhoons, earthquakes, all of these things, the climate changing, this is not normal. This is all signs of the time.
I have
in October.
I've got a couple questions here for you, Leo. You seem like a very spiritual man, and you got a great light about you, man. I know you're a powerful spirit, and you got a lot of people that believe in you and supporting what you're doing. And you seem like a real young guy too, but you seem like you've got a bit of an old soul, man. And
I'm not as young as I look.
Well,
Leo,
how old are you?
I always say
I'm 40 this year.
How old?
40.
40.
And you don't even look that. I always say age is a number, and mine's unlisted.
Yeah, I don't give that one away too much, let me tell you.
Well, I tell you, man.
A little bit like crisis right now.
My brother, you don't look 40. God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought it, but
I would have thought like maybe mid or late 30s, mid to late 30s, but not 40. But you know, hey, God bless. Age is just a number.
that's awesome, man. Now, I'll be 52 in May, and you know, I don't feel 50, man. I mean, I'm a half a century old. Pete, he's older than me, right? Oh, you're old. I'm older than you, ain't I, Pete?
No, you're younger than me.
What?
You're younger than me, brother.
Listen, the thing I was thinking is, we all grew up old school, you know, and I think that's.
They know my age, Mike. They don't believe it, but
I was wondering what type of childhood did you have growing up? And you grew up in New York, correct?
I'll tell you this. I grew up in Southside Jamaica. 50 Cent was my classmate for like 7-8 years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
that's cool.
So you hung out with 50
really
Cent in Jamaica.
It's cool, but I mean, that's just like the history you heard about the area that we grew up in is the history about the area.
So seeing that you knew 50 Cent all of these years, that 50 Cent must have gained interest, so it must be quite a chunk there now, right?
Yeah, it still comes through that area.
Did you grow up in a rough part of town?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you've
I remember stepping over crack vials in the middle of the cracks in the street.
Wow.
Yeah, the 80s, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you basically pulled yourself up out of all that and told yourself you're not going to be part of that world.
God bless you for that.
Actually, I'm actually starting a program as we speak. It's in the process of being put together.
Yeah. It's great.
I'm trying to put together this young filmmakers in New York. Well, I'm not trying to put it together. We're incorporated. We're filing for our tax exemption and what have you. And we have a few locations that are interested in the program being there. A couple of high schools, a community center right in the area where I grew up in, which is awesome. Where I'm going to bring in the youth of the area, high school age, between the ages of 14 and 18, and get them off the street so they're not in the street.
Amen.
With nothing to do, doing bad things, and bring them in and give them an opportunity to learn different aspects of filmmaking.
And on that note, Oh, that was a big part of the meeting, right, Leo? When we met, we talked about that, and you got my support on that because, Mike, what do we talk about every week? We should have more programs like that for our youth.
The
so
youth.
Get away from the streets and have something substantial and give them self-worth and be productive. And this is awesome what you're doing, Leo. Awesome.
Well, Leo,
You got my stamp of validation on that.
well, yeah, and anything American Hearts Radio can do to help endorse that and help you promote that as well. Just get with me, get with Bruce, get with Pete, get us all the information.
Yeah.
You've got a whole network right here, brother. That'll.
I appreciate it immensely. Thank you.
We already talked about, so didn't you say you're going to be putting together like a kind of opening event? And if you need me as a guest speaker, or if you want this program that we could organize events for these people, these young people, get them involved in the art, things like that.
And anything that will help these kids. I grew up over there. Anything that we could do for these kids that'll be positive for them would be wonderful.
Amen, brother. And how can people get a hold of you, Leo?
Well, you can you can find me on Facebook at Leonardo Sanderson. You can email me at ccpleonardo@gmail. I guess that's about the only information I'm going to give up.
Are there websites that people can check out your films?
Well, you have a website for Sons of God.
SOGwebseries.com. You can check out everything on Sons of God. YFMNY, Young Filmmakers in New York. YFMNY org. .org is our website for the Young Filmmakers in New York.
Right, and you also have sonsofgod.com, correct?
SOG Web Series.
There you go.
SOG Web Series. Well,
Yes,
I tell you, man, I can't believe this segment's already, we're almost to our time. Leo, I want to get you on again. I really enjoyed
that.
Yeah, I want to say, and Mike, I want you to know this, that when you were here in my office, you honored me and when we talked on the phone, and this goes back to you, it's not about me, and what did I tell you when you said that? You said, oh man, if I could get somebody like you, a marketable name on this. And I said, well, if you could get any marketable name, whether it was me or anyone, and I'm honored that you said that about me, but whether it was I or any marketable name, this can take Sons of God to another height and another level that, instead of just on the internet, it can go major cable, it can go national, it can go HBO or Showtime or Bravo channel, a lot of the channels that have, even there's a sci-fi channel, there's Bravo, there's a lot of great channels where they have good films, good TV series, and that's where I would like to see you go, because this definitely has the earmarks of going somewhere big time, and I'm honored I'm honored that you want me to be a part of it.
It's got the earmarks. To me,
you're a great person. It would be great to have you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just trying to say that, yeah, Pete's absolutely right. It has the earmarks to be a primetime television series.
Yeah. You look at some of the reality shows and series, and a lot. Because I agree with you, because they're not reality. All right,
right.
Far from reality. They're all scripted and some of these some of the series they have on are corny and stupid. But something like this can really take off. And
I hope so.
Nice.
Now, Leo,
that you want me to be a part of it, and I believe you said that something about that. You're going to be doing some experimenting shots, and soon, and then like November, actually probably start production. Correct?
Right. That's the game plan as of right now. My executive producer, who was a big actor in it, just went into the hospital with a heart condition, slowing us down.
Oh,
he came out.
Well, we keep him in a
year.
And you got to get me scripts so I could see it.
Yeah. Sometime this week, I gotta. I've actually rewrote it I'm rewriting it to add you. And being I have you, I want to give you a bigger role, so I'm doing a little bit of a rewrite. That's what's taking time.
Well, I've got Enos Mohammed Bubba.
He's going to go back in and do editing as he go along and doing rewrites, but and I appreciate that, and I definitely.
I'll give you the original for now so that you can see what's going on, but I definitely want to give you a bigger role. Like you get a big name and you do what you can. You just want to keep your names happy.
Of course, you mentioned
get as much screen time as possible.
Well, if you need the redneck Muslim, I've got him. He spins Motown, and I got Batman.
So, just have them run through a street scene or something.
Where you at, Cape Crusader? No, I tell you. I had one more question, and I asked this to a lot of my guests, and me and Pete both. Our message is a message of global peace. Do you believe that we'll see global peace lifetime, Leo?
When Jesus coming back is God works through us, you know, and that's the truth. So we have to let God work through us, and that will lead us to peace.
There you go.
And that's the only answer I can give to that. We have to, the more people that look to God, that allow God to let their light shine through them, the closer we'll come to that goal.
Do you believe we're in an awakening now, where there has been a shift, and we are headed towards that?
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I agree with you.
Absolutely, it has to. The storm, is rising. Remember the song by Creedence Clearwater, "Bad Moon Rising," and "On the Eve of Destruction," another great song that they were ahead of their time, because in essence we are living in those days now. And Leo, you gave the exact answer. We are instruments of God's peace. He gave us all a mind. He gave us a free will. He didn't create robots. So if we're going to go out there and put love and peace out there, let that go airborne until our Lord, who will definitely instill it upon his return. We have to keep putting it out there, and that's what collectively we're doing.
Well, I tell you, Leo, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Actually, just one thing. I believe that that good is actually a stronger force than evil, and that the energy from one good person can match up to the energy of 7 bad people, and one good person with the right energy can change the energy in a room of a bunch of negativity. And I really believe in the work that you're doing.
Absolutely, and we're all doing it together, and that is very true. What you just said, that we're stronger in numbers, and the good will always eradicate the evil in the long run. It seems at times, and that's in the scriptures too, that it seems like we're in the Psalms, it mentions that you shall see the evil spreading themselves as a green bay tree, and it looks like they're winning over the good. And no, in the long run, it said in the very next verse, they shall be cut down like chaff in the wind. See, so
it might believe the roots is bad. It's gonna die, wither and die.
And
well, Batman.
Once again, here I am, the Batman of death.
Grandfather with his Italian accent always had a great Italian proverb. He said, when you want the crops and the tomatoes are nice to grow nice, you got to go out there, you got to pull the weeds out. Get rid of the weeds.
Reminds me of my grandpa.
Exactly.
You guys are delivering a great message.
Batman's back. Batman returns.
Exactly.
He's got a message for you, Pete.
And you guys here on the Skype, and you're doing this show, there's a lot of viewers out there that particularly watch this show, right?
Yes,
and I'd like to thank them for watching our show, right? Here at American Hearts Radio, we bring hearts together, and that's our message, and I know that's what you guys are up to, too.
We thank you, Cape Crusader.
Hey, this has been a great show, right? So all you viewers out there on Skype,
I saw a nun.
American Hearts Radio on the...
Batman, I saw a nun the other day, and I thought it was your mother.
What?
Yeah, she had the same outfit.
It's a lucky thing you're up in New Jersey, you know?
Come on, that's a funny joke.
No, yeah.
I said, look,
That's
there's
the
Batman.
serious. Bring hearts together, believe in yourself, and peace will come to you.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so much for letting me be on your show.
Yeah.
We thank
you
you.
for having me.
We thank you.
Thank you, Leo. God bless you, brother.
I hope we can talk to you again soon, and I will definitely be hitting you up about young filmmakers in New York. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And on behalf of Mike and Bruce and I, we thank you for being our guest today. God bless you, my brother, and looking forward to future
Working
endeavors.
with you, brother.
Lord
All right.
Father, I want to thank you for having our brother Leonardo Sanderson and my brother Pete DeLorenzo here today so we can bring this message towards global peace and bringing everybody together in the name of Jesus. May you touch Leonardo and help him in his career, Father, and open those doors. Pete, I tell you, man, we're standing right there at the Emerald City. Like I told you guys on the phone, man, the doors are opening. We're going to see the wizard, baby.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. And Leo, this episode will air on the 11th, seeing that next week will be a special episode of Global. So, we will be glad to have you airing and showing this to the world, and so honored to have you on.
That's right. We'll see you later, and thanks, everybody, for tuning in. God bless you. We'll see you next week.
Peace and love. God bless.
roll.
To be
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
Honor to have you. God bless.
Rock and roll, brother.
There